Head coach Stuart Law joins me here at Radlett on the back of a 3-day win against Sussex. Stu, you've got to be really happy with that.
Yeah, tremendous fight from our boys. To turn around a 90-run deficit on first innings to bowl Sussex out the way we did for 100 and then chase them down. We had a few issues, but I think the boys fought hard on a wicket that provided a lot for both batters and bowlers. So very pleased.
Kind of sums up 4-day cricket, really, the ebb and flow of the game. That game could have gone either way on numerous times. It must be very satisfying that the boys have stepped up and young kids have stepped up as well when they're needed most.
Yeah, we've made some brave selections. We played some young guys. We've handed out some debuts, but you don't really get a gauge of where they're at in the nets or on the practice ground. You need to see them in competition, and this game particularly, Blake Cullen, he stood up both with bat and ball and in the field. Jack Davies in the previous game as well, so it's been great, mate. Very exciting to see young players come in, and also it's good for the whole squad. Create that competition within, which makes a spot in the number one team more cherished.
Absolutely. We've spoken about a shortage of runs in first innings. It's cost us dearly in the past. Still an ongoing issue. How do you address that?
Well, believe it or not, we do actually talk, and we sit down and go through dismissals with the players. We try and work out a different way to go about it, a different method. We've talked about change. A lot of players are buying into change. The ones that are a bit slow on the uptake are slowly coming around. So look, it's one of those things. I know batting's pretty difficult. Against the new ball, even more so in this country. But if you're facing the new ball, you've got to expect a bit of movement. We've just got to work out our techniques and make sure we're doing the right things. Don't worry about hitting the ball hard. We've got to work on a defence, and if you haven't got a defence, it doesn't matter how good your attack is.
Absolutely. Two good wins against Surrey, here against Sussex. Obviously disappointing rain-affected draw down at Kent, and obviously a loss here against Ambrose. You can look at both of those games though and actually take a hell of a positives from both of those, both that loss and the draw. Yeah,
exactly. And only a mad 3 hours on day 3 against Hampshire really cost us, put us behind the 8 ball. If we had another 50 to 100 runs, it could have been a different story. But that's just the game of cricket. We've got to learn. A young team, and without an overseas player to guide you through those tough moments, you've got to be spot on. And I think that's about the only time. There's been a couple of sessions we've lost out of all the sessions we've played, and we played some really good cricket, which, as I said before, very pleased to sit down and watch. A bit nerve-wracking at times, but pleased for the way it was finished off today as well.
Just caught up with Stevie Eskenazi, the captain, after that win. He's got a big beaming smile on his face. Looking over there, you've got all the boys sitting around having a beer. Seems like the mood in the camp's really strong right now.
Yeah, it is. We've got a great mix of youth and experience, and growing up, I learnt a lot of my cricket not on the cricket field or in the training ground. It was sitting around talking to senior players, and as a group, we're getting to know each other, a lot more, closely. And if you stick together off the field, on the field becomes a bit easier. So that's the plan of it. It's not designed to just have a beer. It's to sit down and talk about where we did well, what we can improve, how we can go forward. We're already talking about we turn up at Essex in a couple of weeks' time to play the best team in the land. So we can't wait.
You mentioned a couple of those youngsters that have really stepped up. There's one old boy in your squad that's still doing it. How do you claim someone like Tim Murder?
Oh, look, mate, he just keeps getting it done. The mind's willing, the body is still hanging in there, and he just keeps getting that job done. It's such a great asset to have someone like that in your club, to guide the youngsters, to lead the attack, the way he does, and he keeps taking his wickets. And I thought the other guys supported him beautifully. Miguel Cummins bowled fast this morning. Blake Cullen bowled well in the first innings, and Martin Anderson bowled beautifully in both innings. So it's great to have Mertz there as the senior pro to rely on when things get tough. It's also good to have the young kids in there to run in and let them go.
Absolutely. Stu, I asked Esky this. You've got the white ball stuff starting on Thursday. We're up against Essex at Chelmsford in the Blast. Major lack of preparation, I guess, for all sides across the country. 4 of your boys were in action, I think, in a couple of T20s at the weekend. How did they go?
Yeah, pretty good from all reports. I didn't see any of it, which was a shame. But they, from all reports, they got in and got their skills done, which it's not about how many wickets they took, how many runs they scored. It's about working out the skills and what have you. And we'll get to Essex on Thursday. You say we haven't had preparation. We've been playing cricket. Cricket's the same. Just the tempo will be different. So we're looking forward to it. It's a new challenge. Again, there might be opportunities for players that people are not expecting to play, but we need to see what they've got. It's a 10-match series and see how we end up.